So wherever your questions lead us is a good thing. Am I smiling yet?
We're ready. We got it.
Okay, tell me when. Count me down. Okay, hello. Welcome everyone to a Happy Mouth Generative Energetic Dentistry, that's exercise for the mouth, intro evening. I'm Shauna Teaken. I'm a certified Access Consciousness facilitator and also an Access Consciousness 3-day body facilitator. What does that mean? That means basically I travel the world facilitating, teaching people body work. Why do I do that? I don't know. I want to learn how to rejuvenate bodies, has always been my catch cry. Since I was 20, I've been a massage therapist, running exercise classes, running meditation groups, relaxation therapy. But my secret hidden agenda was always there must be a way to maintain a youthful, flexible, healthy body far beyond what we've been told is possible. So in a way, I have been searching for the fountain of youth, you might say. And it's led me a merry dance, as you may imagine. It's led me through every kind of diet you could possibly imagine, every kind of exercise you could possibly imagine, meditation. I've meditated with a crystal strapped to my forehead. I've meditated underwater, upside down, back to front. Oh my goodness. I've done it all so you don't have to, in a way. I've experimented with every possible diet you can think of. And here's what I've come up with. If you can get happy, I know that sounds really simple. If you can be happy in what you're doing and enjoy it, the body thrives. So tonight we're talking about happy mouth. So about 18 months ago, I'd been doing all the Access Consciousness stuff for about 6 years at that point. I had some chronic teeth issues. I had severely impacted wisdom teeth, which I refused to have out because I thought, ultimately, I cannot guarantee that when you wake up from the surgery, you will still have a sense of taste. I said, what are the chances? He said, the chances are not good. They're the nerves, the way he was going to do the surgery. And honestly, for me, I thought, if I'm not going to be able to taste my food, I'll just put up with the teeth thing. That's just me. And I was scared of surgery. Anyhow, had the surgery, all went well, healed beautifully. Unfortunately, the severely impacted wisdom teeth, one of them had killed another tooth. Not a problem, and I'd never had any teeth trouble up until then. I enjoyed going to the dentist. They said, we'll do root canal. And I thought, okay, because I didn't know what root canal was. 18 months later on this agonizing root canal, and it just was chronically infected. There must have been a tiny little piece of infection at the base of that of that tooth that antibiotics would not cut. So I started looking. I was using every Access body process I could think of, every tool, and I tracked down, someone sent me a recording of Dr. Tom Kolso, who is the man, I don't know if we've got some brochures up here, behind Happy Mouth. And I went to his website, which was a dud. You couldn't get anything out of the website. There was no link you could follow. It was like the worst website known to man. So I looked him up and I found, I'm like a stalker. And I wrote to him and said, where are you in the world? I will fly to where you are. I bought his telecall series, listened to it and went, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I could teach this as a 3-day workshop right now. Got in touch with him and said, well, no one's teaching it. I'm not even teaching it. I've just got a telecall series. Whew. Okay, so long story short, here I am, the worldwide coordinator for Happy Mouth. So what is it? Happy Mouth isn't just about having beautiful teeth that look like a great white shark. This is not about having the perfect Hollywood smile. If you would desire that, that's fine, I get it. This is about having healthy, functioning teeth, gums, jaw, all of the structures, so that you can enjoy your food. You are not chronically ill from teeth issues, because as we already have discovered over the last probably 50 or 60 years, many, up to 80% of diseases in the body can be traced back to issues in the mouth, whether it's a bacteria or infection or what have you. I guess I should say at the beginning, I'm not a dentist. Clearly I'm not a dentist. Dr. Tom Kolso is a dentist. He's been a practicing dentist for 20 years in America. And this system is not a replacement for a good dentist. It is not a replacement for cleaning your teeth and flossing. It is not a replacement for having a filling if you require a filling, a crown, or a tooth extracted. It's not a replacement. This is, what's the word when something complements what's already going on and offers some more possibilities. So, where was I with all of that? Okay, Dr. Tom Kolso, practicing dentist in the United States of America for the last 20 years. It just so happens that for the last 18 years, he's also been using the tools of access consciousness. And as a result of the access consciousness tools and body processes, he was in a class where some points on his head started to fire up, get very hot and very painful. They'd switched off, they'd come on again. Switch off, come on again. He asked lots of questions, and what he came up with was that he had this awareness that this was different systems available to the body which had been shut down for thousands of years. There are systems and points on the head which will regenerate bones, grow new teeth, regenerate gums. There are even systems to start up the microorganisms which should be in your mouth, which eat plaque and calculus. Wow, oh my goodness. So for the last 18 or 17 years, he's been working quietly away developing this system. What are the tools of access consciousness? Well, for those of you who don't know, access consciousness is a set of very pragmatic, hands-on body processes which allow the body to begin to heal itself. We have about 60 of those. Our, let's call it foundation process, is called the bars, which has got to be the strangest name for a body system you could possibly think of. Why is it called the bars? Well, my interesting point of view is, for example, when you are running someone's bars, which means activating or touching these points on their head, they're lying fully clothed on a massage table. You're touching points on their head. For example, there's a money point about there and there's a mirrored money point on the other side. If you touch both of those very gently at the same time, it creates a connection between the two, like a bar of energy. And it starts to, let's call it electronically or electrically or energetically, dissipate every experience you've ever had about money in every lifetime, in any lifetime. And there's 32 of these points. So for every area of your life, whether it's aging, control, body, sexuality, you can touch these points and someone can touch them for you and start to dissipate and unlock all of the past experiences you've ever had. How does that work? Well, it's a very strange thing. Any time that you've had a very potent, intense shock, trauma, upset in your life, and that could be you were 2 years of age and your mother hit you with a wooden spoon. That's pretty scary when you're 2. Or you reached out to touch the hot stove and your mother said, no, that's a shock for a small child. A slap is a shock. Witnessing something being done to another person is a shock. Getting bad news, being hurt. All of those little frozen moments in time, which is what a shock is. You know when you get a parking fine that you weren't expecting or a speeding fine and you go, no, or you get your telephone bill and somehow it's way more than you thought. That's a shock. When you get bad news that someone's passed away or been hurt, that's a very big shock. But for that moment, it's as if time has stood still. It's a frozen moment in time. And gradually some kind of normality resumes, life goes on, but always a part of you is always slightly pulled back to that frozen moment in time, depending on how strong or intense the experience was. We call those moments in time, in access, beyonds. They're beyond belief, beyond what you can imagine. You often will lose the conscious memory of the day your mum hit you with a wooden spoon. It's gone. You may get over a shock, but forever after, you can be triggered by a scent or a smell that was there on the day if your mother was baking a cake. Perhaps it's the smell of chocolate cake. If it was your mother's funeral, your grandmother's funeral, and there were a particular flower there, every time you smell that flower, it brings back, you're triggered. We have thousands upon thousands of those triggering moments. And this is why for most people being present, being able to be here now fully, is almost impossible. We're constantly being triggered. Running someone's bars or getting your bars run clears all of those beyond moments in time so that you can start to be more present, have more energy, feel happy for no reason, sleep well, eat better, life begins to change. And you know what? Your body can start to heal itself. Okay, I've come a long way around, but I can't emphasize enough how important getting your bars run. From someone who has meditated since 1978, how many years is that? 40 years. Gosh, I must be enlightened. I used to meditate twice a day. For me, I don't meditate anymore, guys. For me now, being able to step into that space of cruisy, relaxed, is very, very easy, and it probably is for lots of you. The more of those beyond moments that get cleared, the more it's a choice. Sure, stuff still happens. Last week my fridge broke down. Tonight I couldn't park here, I couldn't find it. And you can still have a laugh about it and move on. So, I've lost the plot totally. Where was I going with all of that? Access consciousness, body processes, bars, and what we call verbal processing or clearing. What does that mean? It means if I said to you, for example, Christine, all that stuff that you've been telling me about I'm going to make up something for you, your fear of horses. Every time you see a horse, you go into a cold sweat and you want to throw up. I'm making it up, okay? I would say to you, everything that goes on when you see a spider or horse or whatever it is, I'm going to lay a blanket on the floor. Would you chuck all of that, all your reactions on the blanket? I'm going to take the four corners of the blanket and throw it off the end of a pier. Most people would go, yes, please, as if. We have some words that do that actually for us, and it's everything that is, that fear of horses, that lack of money, that worry that you have. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy it all, whether it's right or wrong, good or bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds? Oh my God, sounds like abracadabra, simsalabim, doesn't it? All of those words are a short form of pages of asking questions, which are saying, everywhere that you've been hanging on to that spider thing for maybe lifetimes, maybe just this lifetime, everywhere that it's a good reason to hang on to it because you'll never be bitten by a spider, right? You'll never be killed by a runaway horse because you're never going to go near a horse. I'm making light of it, but actually, if you would like to know more about the clearing statement, we have a website called theclearingstatement.com. So you will notice tonight, and in the Happy Mouth system, we use that clearing statement. So I would say to all of you, anywhere that you have had an unpleasant experience at the dentist of any kind, would you be willing to throw it on a blanket on the floor, uncreate and destroy it all, whether it's right or wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod, poc, boys, shorts and beyonds? And trust me that means something. It means we're going to vacuum up all of the energy right back to the moment you first had a bad experience at the dentist. And you know what? Some people have never had a bad experience at the dentist and they still don't like going. My own daughter. Total phobia about going to the dentist ever since she was a small child. Now you have to think about that. I've always looked forward to going to the dentist. Where's it coming from? Her father, however, oh my God, might as well be vampires at the dentist. Can't go, won't go, hates it. So we can actually vibrationally copy whatever we grew up around. So if your parents didn't like their teeth, didn't care for their teeth, had horrible experiences with their teeth, you can pick that up as well. How's it get any better than that? Doesn't matter. You can still say everything that is from every lifetime. Anywhere that you in a certain lifetime have had a tooth knocked out with a hammer or pliers, or you had to drink a lot of whiskey so that that was the old thing, get drunk and then take a tooth out. Let's uncreate and destroy all of that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So, happy mouth, points on the head, I must stress, are not an access consciousness body process. Dr. Tom developed those in conjunction with using the access consciousness processing and clearing statement. Just like to make that very clear, and that's why I've gone the long way around to explaining that. Here's what we've found. Having healthy teeth that are able to regrow as needed means that you can live a lot longer. Makes sense. If your body actually has a capacity to grow 4 or 5 sets of teeth easily. That means that by the time you're 50 or 60 or wherever the wear is setting in, a tooth degenerates, a new tooth it should come through underneath and dissolve that tooth. You can grow a new tooth. This means that you can actually look forward to living, well, I don't know, 5 or 6 sets of teeth, 4 sets of teeth, 300 years, 400 years. Now that sounds pretty outrageous to most people. But the way we have been entrained and set up is that as you get long in the tooth, as you get older, your teeth wear down, decay, and it becomes harder to eat the food that you really require, which is your crisp, crunchy, chewing, do a good job of chewing and swallow them. It also means that you'll have decay in your mouth, which is poisonous for the whole system, as we know. So a happy mouth, when you start to look at it, is more than having a flashing white, brilliant smile. It's about the health of the whole body. There is a possibility there for longevity in the body. And there's more. If you think about what the mouth is, it's about eating, yes. It's the pleasure of food. It's also about speaking and communicating. It's about being heard. It's about lifetimes of survival. Because it's not so very long ago, and maybe even in your family's history, where a lot of my family are from Ireland, people had to get out of Ireland because they were starving. There was the potato famine. It's not so very long ago there was the Great Depression, where a lot of people didn't have either enough to eat or enough good quality food. There's a whole generation of people who grew up in the 1930s and 40s in Australia, don't know about the rest of the world, who didn't have great teeth because they didn't receive the nutrients required to make great teeth, and they didn't have great dental care because they simply couldn't afford it. So if you think about all of the implants, all of the limitations, all of the beyond moments associated just with the mouth. And you know what? We have to talk about sex when we talk about the mouth. Because what's one of the loveliest parts of sex is kissing. Who wants to kiss someone who doesn't have nice sweet breath or an attractive smile or, okay? And we can go much, much further into sex with the mouth if we care to. So if you were to look at what does the mouth represent, there is so much more than just having a lovely smile. So with a happy mouth system, we go into gum health, yes. Tooth health, yes. TMJ health, yes. Amalgams, fillings, everything you can possibly think of, and there's this other energetic basis that we're coming from. So would anyone like to ask me a question, because I've gabbled on? Is there something? And stop me at any moment, because I'll just keep gabbling. No? Yes.
Possibly talk a bit about root canals.
Yes.
And how they come about and how to change it.
Yes. Root canals are not bad. Fillings are not bad. It's a matter of asking your body what it requires. Antibiotics are not bad either. When I was in this resistant place where I wouldn't have these teeth out, I wouldn't take antibiotics because I thought I'd rather go the natural way. When I actually asked my body, so body, do you want these antibiotics? I almost fell forward on my face with the power of the yes, for God's sake. So body, are you ready to let go of these teeth? Hallelujah, brother. Yes. So root canals as such are not a bad thing. You can have a root canal that just works fine for you. You can have a crown that works just fine for you. And if you've got some chronic issues going on in your body, you may need to ask some questions. Thank you for asking that, Yana. And one of the most basic questions to ask is, do you actually like your dentist? Do you like going to the receptionist there? I know that sounds crazy, but having someone touch you in such an intimate way, if your body doesn't like that person, doesn't like being touched by them, doesn't feel that they can trust that person, get yourself another dentist. Doesn't mean they're a bad dentist. It's almost like choosing a lover or a massage therapist or a beautician. You go to someone that you feel comfortable with. For myself, as soon as I changed dentists, because, you know, I do this thing where I soldier on. It was horrible going to the dentist with this root canal thing. It was agony. She talked endlessly about her family holidays while I'm in agony. And I wasn't having a good time, but I was thinking, no, I've just got to be strong and get through this. Come on, Shauna, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. How bad can it be? How bad? It was pretty bad. It was pretty horrible. Once I changed to another dentist, you know, it's a good thing I'm so gorgeous, listeners and viewers, because I'm not bright a lot of the time. When I changed to a dentist that I loved and is soft and lovely with, how are you going, Shauna? Is that hurting? No, I'm good. You know, it's lovely. I get that the other lady was a great dentist too, but she was like a great mechanic on a car and I was the car. I'm not a very good car. So anyhow, so root canals as such, not a bad thing. So you have to ask your body. It's like you have to ask your body what it requires as far as food goes too. Not what the book says or what you've been told or what the diet says. You have to ask your body what's required. Is there something more there that I didn't answer?
Well, I've just had a few people around with root canals. I was just wondering, you know, is there a process through this as well that people can actually have done?
Absolutely. And I would say use your MTVSS, which is an access body process, hands-on, can't go past that, cellular memory, zero sum of trauma. And here's the thing, if you've got a chipped or cracked tooth in particular, a cracked tooth is a traumatized tooth, whether it's from you biting down or from an actual outside trauma. If you'll do your body processes, your zero sum of trauma, restoration of structural integrity, MTVSS, cellular memory on those to release the trauma, then the crack doesn't need to go any further. I'm having my photo taken. Thank you, Henry. Okay.
Another question.
Yes.
Change. When it comes to little children,
Yep.
you know, obviously they don't brush their teeth like you just said when they're 2 or so.
Yep.
Their parents can try to, but it's not the same.
Mm.
Is there points we can actually activate on them to start getting rid of the plaque and sugars?
Yeah, that actually, here's a little secret. There's something called the dental laser. Dental laser. When you pick up your toothbrush, ask for the dental laser to be activated and brush your teeth very gently. And you know what? You've got to find, if you can track down the super softest toothbrush you can possibly find, almost like a baby toothbrush, they're the best. Not this hard stuff. And activate the dental laser, which is an energy you can use while you're cleaning your teeth and while you're flossing. So that can be a game for children. It's a bit like Star Wars, it's a bit like a magic wand. Let's activate the dental laser. And actually while you're all sitting there, would someone like to come out the front and I'll activate, there is a master point for general health in the mouth. Would someone like to come out and be my crash test dummy? Oh, come on, Julie, good for you, come on. And you can all watch and you'll see what I do. Don't worry. I'm just going to go about 4 finger widths up and 1 forward. And when you find it, so everyone, go about on your own ear, from the point of your ear, go up about 4 finger widths. I'm going to say about because everyone's a bit different, and forward. You'll find there's a little divot, a little. And when you find it, push it hard. And it will usually be a little bit tender and you'll go, ouchie, wah wah. You got it? And keep massaging it. Tell me if I'm hurting you, sorry. And you might need to move around a bit and the person you're doing it to usually will go, oh, that feels so good. You're just looking for the spot.
What is this for?
It's for dental generative health, call it that. It's a master point for the health of the whole mouth. So all of you people online, and you know what, we've got almost 250 people online tonight. I will activate that for you, and what you'll find is the telecall series that is at the moment the only way to learn this whole system. During those calls, Dr. Tom activates all of the points, and we've got charts for them on all of the systems in each call. So in the gum call, there's a system we activate. In the call that's about the TMJ, there's points we activate. For regrowing teeth, there's points we activate, all on different areas. Thanks, Julie. He activates those for the people listening, and then you have charts so you can do sessions on people. So I bought the series, and I bought the 2013 series last February. 6 calls of about an hour each. I started listening, and I tell you what, I'm very obsessive compulsive. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I transcribed all the calls. I listened to them at night on no volume. I got my mum, who is also an Access Consciousness Bars facilitator. My mum's amazing. She's 83, 84, whatever. Aqua aerobics, Tai Chi, bars 3 times a week, human dynamo. Hope I'm that good in 25 years' time. There you go. Now you know how old I am, how young I am. Got her to run some of the processes on me. Very, very quickly, that focal point of infection went. And I will be quite honest with you, I went to a new surgeon specialist to get some advice on what to do with this bleeding root canal, literally. And he said, why don't you have it out? I went, no matter what, you must fight to save a tooth, right? He said, no, it's at the back. You could always have an implant if you wanted to. So I actually had the tooth out. I had to go into day surgery to have that tooth out. It was nasty. It was a black hole of Calcutta down there. I'd had many, many courses of antibiotics to try and clear up that infection, and nothing worked. In my interesting point of view, we have a particular process in Happy Mouth for those infections in the mouth. I only had it run on me once or twice hands-on, and the infection was gone, and the improvement in my whole health was astonishing. I obviously had been dragging me down for a long time. Go back. Okay, so I'm listening to this stuff and going, oh my God, the whole world needs to know about it. Cleared this thing up, got the lovely new dentist, went to see her. Cool, wonderful. I needed a crown. Another point of view in my world, no. Okay, ask my body, yes, nothing wrong with having a crown. The tooth under it is healthy. Then I say to my new dentist, so now we come to all of the fillings I need to have done, because my last dentist had some x-rays and we had a schedule of, I think, about 6 fillings that needed to be done. And I just assumed I'm going to have the fillings because the dentist said, and she said, you don't need any fillings. I went, what? She said, certainly there's some places we'll watch in your mouth, but there are no fillings that are required in your mouth. That was not my, I won't say it wasn't my desired outcome, it wasn't what I was shooting for, but it was like a byproduct of listening to all of the Happy Mouth stuff while I attended to other areas of the mouth. Will that happen for you? I don't know. You can't promise any of this to anyone. I would say if you're willing to look at the system, play with it, use it, and I use it on my clients now who come to me. I activate all the different points on their head in a 1-hour session. You may get stunning results that you couldn't possibly imagine. And if you're doing it with this idea of I must regrow my teeth, I must, it ain't going to work for you, because that's not how it goes. I'm sorry. What you may have to unlock is what is actually going on behind all of that. There may be immense healing in other ways. Now, we all know someone who is not in this room, who I won't mention, who played the Dr. Tom, one of the interviews, not even the whole telecall series, for someone in her family who had the whole top row of teeth replaced with implants. He had no rejection, no problems, and didn't use any painkillers. The doctors were absolutely astonished. That's quite remarkable, and he's not a spring chicken. So, okay, so we go through, we have processes to set up, activate, bring back to life, if you like, the organisms that are designed, should be there in your body, to eat plaque and calculus. And after that, it's up to you to be aware of what foods and drinks your body doesn't like to have. It may be Coke, it might be fruit juice, it might be whatever it is for you. But to think that you can just go endlessly on doing what you've always done without any awareness, you're going to have to ask some questions of your body. How do you know when your body doesn't want that thing? Usually you'll pull away from it. You'll get a bitterness or a sourness in your mouth, you'll know. We have receptors and responders. Receptors and responders in the mouth should teach us all about our environment. If you've ever had been around a small, like a 1-year-old, everything, even as soon as they can make the movement to put something in their mouth, they do. They learn about the world from feel, touch, taste, sucking on, chewing on, putting things in their mouth. What's the first thing that a mother does if she sees a child pick up something off the floor and put it in their mouth? Naughty, dirty, spit it out. We shut down the receptor and responder systems as if there is something wrong with that. There isn't something wrong with that. One of the receptor responder systems, and we activate these again by rubbing certain points on the head, should signal your body when it's time to grow a new tooth, when a tooth bud should come through. That doesn't happen. It's been shut down. So the point of rubbing these different activation points on the head or restoration points is to start that process up. It's ongoing. If you think how long it takes a small child to grow an adult tooth, it's usually about 3 years, isn't it, Demetra? It may take 2 years for an adult. Here's the thing though, if you're looking to improve the gum health of your mouth, your teeth health, the structural integrity of your teeth, not even considering growing new teeth, your body has got to have the percentage of minerals, vitamins, foods and hormones required to do that. So this is all about awareness of what you're actually putting into your body. I'm not saying organic, I'm not saying raw, I'm saying what your body requires. You've got to ask your body, what do we require? And go through, do we need more calcium? Do we need more magnesium? Do we need, and then you can ask, oh, no wonder I've been craving bananas, or no wonder I've been craving apricot, blah, blah. Body, do we need to get it from fresh fruit and veggies? Do we need to get it from a tablet or a powder? And then you need to ask, what level of growth hormone does my body require? Because for most of us, once we're grown, the growth hormones fall to a really quite low level in the body. So would you be willing to ask your body to start producing the growth hormones and all the other hormones that it requires to rejuvenate, restore your mouth, your bones, your gums, your teeth, even your saliva? We have some points to activate the salivary glands. Many people don't have the correct pH in their mouth. So this is a very densely packed, information-filled series. Tonight I hope just to give you a little overview of it, how it has been for me, how it continues to work in my world. I can tell you that the people who have just completed the current series have had remarkable gum results. 2 people I've got written testimonials from have been to their dentist who've said, what's going on here? Your gums have stopped receding and they're growing back. Now that's not commonly seen. One of the people is in his 70s and the lady is in her 40s. So maybe a little bit more possible the younger you are, but for someone in their 70s to start regrowing gum, we've had people regrowing bone. Now, I told you I had my wisdom teeth out. I had my wisdom teeth out coming up to 3 years ago, so before Happy Mouth. But with all the processes I've been running, when I went back to my surgeon for him to look at the one that I had to failed root canal, he said, oh my God, I cannot even see on your new x-rays where the wisdom teeth were. And he said they were severely impacted. And his method of doing it was they actually cut you inside and take the tooth out sideways. They can't take them out that way. They were so deeply impacted. He said, this is fabulous for a woman of, and I'm 57, for a woman of your age, you know, they always say that, this is marvellous recovery, excellent dentition. It's like, oh, okay, I thought I had problem teeth. I thought I had a problem mouth. How's it get any better than that? Stop me, more questions before I go any further? Yes?
Shauna, so with activating the points, is it just as a one-off or do they require to be activated a few times?
Ideally, 21 days straight.
Okay.
So I would say to you, sure, you can pay me $175 a session. And actually, I make it a bit cheaper if you take 21. Sure, you can pay me to do it, but why wouldn't you buy the Telecall series? It's $485 Australian or US, depending where you live. Learn the points, we send you the charts, and swap and run with a friend, which is what my mum and I do. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes to do all of the points in a session. They only run for about 2 minutes each. Then we have hands-on processes for other things. We have the hands-on processes for teeth integrity, for enamel, for colour, all different problems, for infections. There's a range of hands-on body processes, which you would generally hold for an hour at a time, maybe 5 sessions or 10 sessions.
And do you get the charts?
You get the charts, yes. All of the clearings in a loop and the clearings written out as well. At the moment, that's the only way you can learn this system. My target is that by this time next year, we will have 2 or 3 day workshops. Dr. Tom will teach one in the States and hopefully in Australia as well. And then my thing is, let's get some practitioners, people like you out there practicing this stuff, and then let's get some facilitators teaching the practitioners as well. I can't see why we couldn't have this all over the world, in complement to having good dentists and good dental hygiene as well. Did you have something else you wanted to ask me then? So really the key to all of this is, if you're going to be able to regrow your teeth and have healthy gums and no gum disease, no decay in your mouth, you've got to be choosing life and living. And many, many people, I know this sounds quite odd, have an unconscious commitment to death. How does that work? Well, we buy into the, let's call it the time-space continuum. I love saying that. It's like being in Back to the Future, isn't it? We are entrained to the idea that you have a body that gets deteriorated, older, less vital and worn down as the years pass. Of course it does. That's part of the causal reality. It's what we all know to be true, hey? Except there are other possibilities. That is not necessarily so. Physical bodies were actually designed to live a really, really long time, and you can ask your body. So truth, ask your body, would your body like to live to 100 years or more? 200 years or more? Now most people would go, oh, I know what 100 looks like and I'm not going there, right? If you thought 100 looks bad, 200 must look terrible and it must be very feeble and old. No, thank you very much. I'll make sure I leave the planet before I get to that point. And if I could show you people that were 100, 200, 300, 400, who were fit, able, active, flexible, enjoying life, whether or not they look 20 or 30, I don't think is the point. My particular desire, like if you want to look like you're 20 or 30 again, woohoo, how fabulous. I wouldn't mind looking like this as long as I had the energy and the vitality of a 20 or 30-year-old. The desire for new things, the energy to get up and go, yes, every day, woohoo, can't wait to get to the beach, instead of going, oh, I'm getting a bit old for that now. Don't think I'll buy a swimming costume this year, I'm getting a bit old for that. So it's a whole different kettle of fish if I said to you, would you be willing to live beyond 100 if you knew you could do it in a fit, healthy body that was full of energy and vitality? So everywhere that you have bought into the time-space continuum, the idea that your body must degenerate, break down, deteriorate, lose vitality as you get older in years, would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What if it's simply not true? One of the things that we have found with Access Consciousness is that the more you get your bars run, the more you have body processes, the more clearing you do, you stop aging. You look amazing. And I wish I brought my mother. This is a good reason to bring my mother with me. And some of you have met my mum. I think Yana, you might have met my mum.
Yes.
Julie? Yeah, and Henry has. She's amazing. And I'm on her all the time. Don't get old, because there's a gun in the shed for you, old woman. But just like, don't whinge, straighten up, keep going. Okay, so would it be a different picture for you if you knew that was possible? And this is what we've found with happy mouth. For me, the most exciting part about, as well as being able to change what was going on in my mouth, which I felt powerless about, I felt on this, slippery slope to crumbling teeth. I would have dreams where I would wake up and my teeth were crumbling away, that kind of thing, to a link between healthy mouth and teeth and indefinite living. What's indefinite living? It's not where you're immortal and you can't die like a science fiction character. It's where you are healthy, vital, enthusiastic, as long as you're interested in living, as long as you've got fun things to do. And when you've had enough, you can go. You can maybe sit down in a chair, lie down for an afternoon nap, fall asleep, and pass over. You don't have to institute some awful, slow wasting away from about 30 or 40 or 50. I don't know if you look around out there, and people seem to have lost their vitality younger and younger and younger these days. You don't have to institute some slow dying that takes 20 or 30 years. What if you were just hale and hearty and wonderful until you were 799 and then popped off the end of the branch? So that was very exciting for me because, as I said, I was on this search for the fountain of youth, this link between indefinite living and having a happy mouth. And there's much, much more when you go into it. How much of what you express of who you be is through your voice, through your mouth? How much of what you enjoy of being on this planet is through what you take in through your mouth? What if there were more flavours available to us than you could possibly imagine? What if taking a little sip of a beautiful juice or a champagne or a lovely fresh peach or a mango was a full body thrill, an orgasmic ripple through your whole body? Sometimes it is, but what if every meal was like that? And where have we shut that down and gone, well, it's just fuel and I'm hungry and I'm tired and I just need to blom, blom, blom in front of the TV without thinking? What if every meal was this delight and this deliciousness? So, where does that leave us? We're only at 8 o'clock and I've got lots more material. Has anyone got a question they'd like to ask me? Dimitri, you're a dentist. Would you like to heckle me from the audience?
Those points, are they similar to the trigger points?
No, they're completely different and not based on anything else. I did find that I have done one or two, how do I explain? I've done one session on one person and 4 sessions on another person, and they both got changes in their mouths just from a 1 session and a 4 session. So you know when I said you've got to have 21 days straight of the activations and then probably once a month to keep it up. Some people do get extraordinary results very, very quickly, and I was certainly one of those people because I didn't have all the points on my head touched and rubbed 21 days straight. And here's the other thing, in the course of, we just finished a telecall series, the latest one. We ran a call every month for 6 months. When we started, this material is so new and growing, enough people were on that call running those first points that by the time we got to the 2nd or 3rd call, they didn't need to be run for an hour. It was down to 2 to 5 minutes. So the more people who do this stuff, the quicker and more efficient it exponentializes it for everyone. Oh my goodness, you know, the 100th monkey syndrome. How does it get any better than that? So in the same way that we say there's nothing wrong with having a root canal if that's what your body requires, there's nothing wrong with having a filling if that's what your body requires. Most dentists, I believe most dentists in Australia don't use the old-fashioned mercury amalgam fillings. Is that true anymore?
Some of them do still, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. So ask your body again. Maybe don't choose the old-fashioned silver fillings, have the newer ones. Composite, is that the right term? There's a lot of people who panic about having old fillings. What I would say to you is that there is an access body process that's called elimination, eradication of toxic amalgams. You can run that on yourself, anywhere on your body actually, it doesn't have to be just here. The other thing I would say to you is, would an infinite being be at the effect of toxins in their environment? So you have to start pocking and potting all of that. Does it mean you need to rush off and get all of your old fillings removed? Certainly 12 years ago I did get some in my bottom teeth taken out because I was such a health nut. I was so OCD about everything being pure and I must get rid of these things. Ask your body if it requires it. It may not. It might be fine. There is a school of thought that says while they're there and they're not actually causing you problems, why fiddle with them? So again, you have to ask questions of what for your body works. What we've also found is that people who have braces of any age, whether it's children or adults, using these processes exponentializes how quickly the movement of the teeth goes. So it's not that, I guess it's possible that you could just do hands-on and the teeth would move, but the point is, why not use what's available out there? With dentistry is not a bad thing, but this will exponentialize. What else can I tell you? Ask me some questions, people. Plaque.
I could use a lot of plaque.
Okay, that is a great question, thank you. So we have an energetic look at everything that's going on in the mouth. And energetically, plaque is about your body trying to protect itself, oddly enough. So you have to look at everywhere that I'm overprotecting, feel that I need to protect myself, feel vulnerable. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, bock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. The body thinks it's doing the right thing. It's building up this layer of protection. And you have to ask, actually, that's not helping. That's not assisting. Me too, and I've noticed that's nowhere near as big as it used to be. Yep. And I use those little brushes too. You know those little, what do you call those things? Interdental? Yeah, fantastic. And then it's about asking your body about the pH of your saliva also. So let's just do this for everyone online and everyone in the room. Anything that wouldn't allow the organisms that should eat the plaque and calculus for you to wake up, to not wake up. So wake up, microorganisms in your body. Wake up. Ask them to wake up every day. Uncreate and destroy everything that wouldn't allow them to wake up. Everything has a consciousness. Everything is alive, as you know. There are amazing things going on in your body. There are little dancing lights, if you like, called somatids. And there's a man who's developed, actually there's a few people who've developed a, you know, like a live blood analysis. If you've ever had one of those analyses where they can look at your live blood sample for candida or yeast or what have you. Similar technology to that. He's been able to photograph and examine these dancing lights which are around everything and in everything. It would be interesting to speculate whether that is actually consciousness. However, you can speak to the somatids in your body and ask them to wake up, do more. You can contribute to them. You can use your energy flows. You know, using the energy flows, if you're not using your energy pools and energy flows which you use in Access Foundation, oh my goodness, that will change your whole world. So right now, everyone who's online, would you be willing to open up the top of your head and pull energy through the top of your head, through your whole body? You know, when you run someone's bars and you do the energy pulls for them, why don't you do that for yourself right now? Pull energy, and when I say pull energy, just don't go, oh, okay, energy pull. Pull energy like a tsunami through your whole body, down through your chest, down through your legs, out your feet into the earth. Connect with the earth. You see, you, the being, have a body. If you will connect your being, your body, and the earth, that's like a trio that is dynamite. Now, would you be willing to pull energy up from the earth through your body? Through your whole body, up and out the top of your head. And now would you be willing to pull energy from out in front of you, from everything in the universe? And just don't pull it to you, pull it through you. Because your body's not a stopping point. Your body is actually this perpetual motion, organic, living, conscious in every cell being. And then pull energy from behind you to you and through you and out the front. And ask yourself, what else is possible for us, lovely body? What would it take for our teeth, our mouths, our tongues, our jaws, everything, all of the structures to be happy, healthy and well? What would it take? What else is possible? When you ask a question, the molecules around you get excited. Did you know that's why we ask questions? When you say this is crap and I hate it, everything just goes woomph. It dead ends the energy. Whatever you've decided it is, that's all it can be. The moment you go, what else is possible, all the molecules around you get very, very excited. What if the molecules in your teeth? So would you be willing to have gratitude for every tooth that you have?
Yeah.
Say, thank you, teeth. Instead of judging them, every time you look in the mirror and go, oh God, I need to have them whitened, straightened, lifted, I don't know, capped. Whatever it is you say to yourself every time you look in the mirror. And even if you have lovely teeth, it's a bit like having a lovely body. Some people live in fear of losing it. Oh, I better not get fat, I better not get old. Oh, my teeth. So would you be willing to have gratitude for your gums? Hello, lovely gums. And guess what? Gum issues, gum problems, gum receding, gum disease is all about how do you feel about making choices? Are you always trying to make the right choice or come to a decision instead of just making a choice? If you make the wrong choice, choose again. There's an energy behind everything that's going on. If you've got wear and tear on your teeth because you're a grinder, bruxism as it's called, you've got to ask some questions. What am I grinding about here? What is this? What am I tense and angry about? Start unlocking it for yourself. Because your dear, sweet, beautiful body will just carry on as best it can. Unless you start to ask some questions. What am I actually doing for myself here or to myself here?
Is there a process for people that have grinding teeth? Or
Yes.
even kids?
Yes. I would have to send it to you because it's like about that long. But you can just say, what energy, space and consciousness can I be to have more awareness around my bruxism or grinding? But there's quite a long one. Can you remind me? And I'll send it to everyone online. I'm more than happy to.
So if just say like if a 2-year-old is doing that because his mum does it, could they possibly be mimicking that?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is that
biomimetic
just
mimicry. Yeah. So biomimetic mimicry is a great one for that. If he's doing it at that age, oh my goodness. Can you hear it? Wow. Yeah.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes, please.
Kids of that age should not be grinding teeth. And we know that it has to do with breathing process and the airway. So he needs to be checked out and then set the intention and do the process.
Thank you. Thank you.
just a couple of days ago in hospital, but yeah, got a chance, so that's good to know. It's like,
Thank you so much. I hope everyone heard that. Would people have heard that, Henry?
No, David, need that repeated?
Um, the question was a 2-year-old who is grinding and what can be done about it. And our lovely dentist here suggested that it's an airways and a breathing issue behind that, and that a 2-year-old definitely should not be grinding and that it needs to be checked out. And Jana was able to say, well, actually, wouldn't you know the child was in hospital, did you say?
just 2 days ago, just to have it tested, the breathing.
Thank you. That's how, I mean, what a contribution that is. Great. As I say, I'm not a dentist. Thank you. And this is part of, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just another comment.
Yep.
You know each tooth corresponds to an organ in the body.
Yes.
And there are different charts. So if you keep having one tooth specifically broken down or refilled or having pain with that, it should be checked that there's nothing else going on.
Thank you, and I'll repeat that for the camera. And our lovely dentist pointed out that there are a relationship between every tooth in your mouth and the organs, nervous systems, everything in the body links to a particular tooth. And there are charts for that, and you can Google it. I've Googled them and print them out. And it's not always spot on, but it's a wonderful tool, and wow, you may be very, very surprised, especially with chronic issues in the body which don't seem to change, if you get a terrific dentist, so you're would you call yourself a biologic dentist? What do you describe what you do?
Holistic dentist, but it's more of a biological one.
Thank you. As is Dr. Tom. Thank you so much for that. If you get a good dentist who is aware that this is not just about happy, smiley, beautiful mouth, it's about the health of your whole body, oh my goodness. You probably need to leave some cards or something before you go. No, well, who wouldn't want to come see you? You know? Thank you. Something else was coming up then? Were you going to say something?
Well, you actually said it. When I said about the plaque, and then you said the gum disease.
Yep.
I had both of those. So when you said choices, I just
Yep.
smiled.
Yep.
I just smiled.
Yeah, and you know, here's something else you need to look at. When I started having the teeth issues at about 50, I had to look at who does this belong to? You know, the tool of access consciousness. You have to ask, well, who does this? Where did this come from? Both my parents, who are still alive in the 80s, have had lovely teeth, beautiful teeth actually, as young people. Still have all their teeth. I grew up with fabulous dental care, as probably all of you did. You know, in the 60s, everyone went to the dentist every 6 months. Never had a filling as a child. I had some fillings later. Never had braces. I don't have spectacular teeth, but I like my teeth. I was married to a man who had shocking teeth. We were together for 20 years. The next boyfriend, he didn't have such good teeth either. He never went to the dentist. And, you know, you have to ask, who am I trying to heal? Who am I biomedically mimicking? Who am I pulling stuff out of for and manifesting it in my, or actualizing it in my body? And then you go, oh, I don't have to do that. They can get their own dentist.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. And we do it with all kinds, it's just not just our teeth. But, you know, if you're having some teeth issues, absolutely. So if you're having trouble coming to grips with biting, if you're holding on to stuff, it can reflect in your mouth. Actually, what enabled me to go and have the wisdom teeth out was the holding patterns. You know, that when that process came out in Access Consciousness. Is it called holding?
Yeah.
Holding patterns. Had that run twice and woke up one morning and went, oh, I've got to get this teeth thing sorted. Whatever I was holding on to. And what I was holding on to was all my interesting points of view about it must be a natural medicine thing. I'm not going to go the orthodox way. What a dill. Anyway, how's it getting better than that? Finally, I woke up. Okay, it's 8:15. I've rambled on enough. What my target for tonight was to present perhaps a tickler, perhaps a teaser for you to go ahead and look at the Happy Mouth system. I am very passionate about it, as you can see. I'm taking it to Dubai this year in April. I'll be in New Zealand with it later in the year, over to Taiwan. Everywhere I go in the world, I will be doing one of these nights where I invite people to come along, ask questions. And I'm not a dentist, share from my experience. We have lots of free stuff on the Happy Mouth website, yourhappymouth.com. You can download free interviews with Dr. Tom. He's extremely generous. Whenever he's interviewed, he will always run clearings. He will always activate some of the points for you during the course of the interview. And as a special treat, if you'd all like call one of the current series, I'm more than happy to send you. It went for over 2 hours, but I've edited a 60-minute juicy bit from it. More than happy to send that to everyone who's online, all 250 people and the people in the room, and that bruxism clearing. And write to us and tell us your experiences. We'd love to know. We're on the creative edge with this. We don't even know what's going to be possible in the future. My thing was, I've nagged Dr. Tom Kolso, come on, we've got a teacher. He said, the system isn't complete yet. There are new points still coming forward. We will do another telecall series at the end of this year, and we will perhaps do some live hands-on trainings next year. So guys, if you're online and you're interested, you would really be on the creative edge with this. If you could incorporate it into your practice as I do, 20-minute sessions for people, 1 hour sessions, whatever it is, or team up with someone and run it on each other. How's it get any better than that? You may also find, here's another little add-on, your hearing changes. The quality of your voice changes. Some other things may happen with your sensory equipment as well, because the mouth is very much about that old adage of hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. Don't show me, don't show me, don't show me. If you're willing to open up, barriers down, all of life comes to me with ease, joy and glory, I'll have the intensity, thank you very much, and then I will choose what I would like to experience in my life. So a lot of the problems that come out in our whole periodontal cavity, the mouth, the jaws, the TMJ, even right back into here, is about that whole thing of not speaking out what you know to be true, not eating what's correct for your body, not wanting to hear, not wanting to see. So a lot of things may well shift for you way beyond your mouth in your entire life and living. How's it get any better than that? So thank you everyone for your patience. Yes, thank you for coming along. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
Oh, and before, are we still on?
Still on?
Just like to say a big thank you to Henry Tang, whose centre this is at Crow's Nest, Spaces of Possibility, for hosting this tonight. Do you want to come on camera, Henry, or you're just willing to...
I'm willing to come on.
Oh, yay! Big hand for Henry, come over.
Make sure I'm actually in the frame because it's just framed on you at the moment, Shauna.
Stand next to you.
Thank you. So thank you to Henry. This is Henry. Many of you will know him. You've seen him around the world in his travels. And he's set up this amazing centre where people can come and gift and receive bars, attend foundations. Tomorrow we're doing the 3-day body class here. How do we get so lucky?
How did we get so lucky?
How did we get so lucky? Bodies are us. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
What else is
bodies.
possible for our wonderful bodies? Thank you. Photos being taken. So thanks everyone. I'll be sending out the recording in the next few days. Thank you. Yay!
Do your happy dance.
Do your happy dance.
Happy dance. Is the next telecourse starting?
Not till August. So for all intents and purposes, the current one is the training. Everything is in that.
So if
The one
it's
that just
restarted,
finished it.
How would that work? Like,
Well, I just send you the recordings. Yeah. Yeah, people joined at any point. Some people didn't join until the last call. And it's intense. There's a lot of information. All the charts are in there. You can email me. I get a lot of emails from people. Look, thank you for coming on. I guess you may have been aware of the amount of energy out there around this, because it's a very charged topic. We have been, now that we're not online, are we offline?
I can take us offline. But when you said about the next call, I'm sure that the people would be interested in listening.
I will email everyone with those details. But the current series is the training at the moment, which is fabulous. Okay.
Taking you offline.
Yay!
Bye bye.
Bye.
and so up to what call are you at? Like,